Last example on this homework on 10.3, we are again asked to find the area of this nice lovely triangle. And again, writing down our area formula, area we found from the first of the unit is just 1/2 times little a times little b times the sine of angle C. All right, so again, in order to use this nice lovely area formula, you need to know side, angle, side. Basically, you need to know two sides, so A and B, and the angle that's right in between them. C is always going to be between little a and little b. So when we solve this nice lovely problem, when you label your triangle over here, notice if we just call these A, B, and C, here's little a, here's little b, and here's little c. Notice we've got our A and our B, so we could say, okay, we're good there, we're good there. The problem is we don't know a single angle, so we're going to need to find an angle. And the way I've set it up, I'm saying, let's find this angle right there. We're going to find that angle, then we can plug everything into to the area formula and find the area of this lovely triangle. So now you'll want to use the law of cosines on this one. So the law of sines only works if you know two angles. So if you know two angles, use the law of sines. If you know side, angle, side, you don't even need to use this. Or if you know all three sides, then you're going to use the law of cosines. Okay, so if we're trying to find angle C, the law of cosines that we're going to use is the little c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Hopefully you remember this, maybe even have it all memorized. If not, flip back and you can write it down. So 2 times a times b times the cosine of angle C. Okay, that's our law of cosines again. And from here, we just plug in some numbers. So little c, let's do this blue. Little c here is 15 squared is equal to little a, which is 23 squared, plus little b, which is 21 squared, minus 2 times a, which was 23, times b, which is 21, times the cosine of angle C. All right, so this is our lovely missing part right here. So we're going to try and get that by itself. So we're going to subtract this 23 squared from both sides and also subtract 21 squared from both sides. Okay, so those are just going to be gone. So here's, I kind of always just write it out like this. I'm going to write it out as 15 squared minus 23 squared minus 21 squared. That's going to be equal to this negative 2 times 23 times 21 times the cosine of C. Please note these are all multiplied, so you can't add this. These are all just multiplied here. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to actually just get the numbers for this. So I'm just going to plug those into my calculator. My calculator even does it, leaving it in squared. So I could just do 15 squared minus 23 squared minus 21 squared, and I get negative 745. All right, that's going to be equal to negative 2 times 23 times 21, which is negative 966, and then that's still times by the cosine of C. All right, so to get that cosine of C by itself, we're going to divide by that negative 966, both sides. So the cosine of C is equal to, you don't need the negative, so I'm just going to drop them here. Negative divided by negative is a positive, so 745 over 966. Now remember, your calculator can find, usually you tell your calculator the angle and it will tell you the cosine, but it can go backwards. It can find the angle if you know what the cosine is. So we know the cosine, so in your calculator, remember you just do the second cosine and it makes this lovely little problem like that. So 745 divided by 966. So that is second cosine, 745 divided by 966. And I have a 39.5. Let's round to the nearest tenth. We're just going to keep that standard, this whole unit. So this angle C right here is 39.5 degrees. All right, now we can say, check, we've got angle C, and we could just plug everything in here to our nice, lovely area formula. So area is equal to 1/2 times little a, where's my little a? Little a, which was 23, times little b, which is 21, times the sine of angle C, which is 39.5 degrees. And let's plug that into our calculator. So 1/2 or 0.5 times 23 times 21 times the sine of 39.5, that is equal to 153.6, and those are going to be millimeters squared. All right. So again, trickiest thing here, the angle or the area formula is not too bad. Just make sure you've got a side angle side, then you can find the area of that triangle.